We would not pay them back $100. We'd only pay them $79.70. In other words, if $79.70 is put in the bank today, it will be worth $100 in 2 years. In that sense, the present value, $79.70, equals $100 in 2 years. And they're showing you the conversion here. 79.70 times 0.12 is 956. 89.26 times 0.12 is 1071. You get up to $100, just a little rounding difference. Okay? Now, here is how we are going to compute present value. There are 2 tables in your book. And if you have your book there, you can open it, Appendix A or Appendix E, I'm not sure. Here we go. The present value of $1. You are going to get that from the present value tables. You will have the present value table in front of you when you're doing your homework. You will have the present value table in front of you when you're taking a test. It is the tool where we're going to get the equivalent of $1. Okay, so here we go. For example, in our problem here, I lost it here for a second. In our problem here, we computed a present value of $79.70. 2 years, 12%. Are you right on that? 2 years, 12%. We're going to go to the table. We're not going to do that big math thing unless you want to. 2 years, 12%. I see 0.797. Do you see that, Suda?
I do.
Okay, I trust the others. That means $1 in 2 years is worth 79.7 cents today. So $100 in 2 years is worth 79.70. Every number on your table equals $1 today. Every number you see here equals $1 today under these circumstances. In this circumstance, we went 2 years, 12%. How much do we need? Now they're giving us a little problem here now. How much do we need to invest 10% for 3 years? We need $1,000 in 3 years. That's 10%, 3 years. 10%, 3 years. $1 is worth 7.751, 75 cents. We multiply that by the 100 we're borrowing. That is the present value. That is the present value. That is the present value. So here we're just learning to read the tables a little bit, okay? So that was the present value table for a single number, one number. But some investments include both a principal and a series of payments, like a note, a principal and a series of payments. And we are going to call these series of payments an annuity. An annuity. For example, I collect a pension from my job. That's an annuity. I get a check every month. An annuity is a series of payments in the same amount at the same interest rate over a finite amount of time, okay? You borrow money for $10,000, you borrow $10,000 at 6% for 2 years. Well, each year you're going to have to pay 6%, 6,000. 6,000 this year, 6,000 next year. That's a 2-year annuity. So now we have to figure out the present value of annuity. How do we do that? Well, guess what? We have another table for you. It's called the present value of an annuity table. So let's see what they have for us here. What is the present value? What's the money worth today of receiving $1,000 a year for 3 years at an interest rate of 10% compounded annually, huh? Well, we go to the annuity table, not the present value for a single table. The single number table is on top. The annuity table would come after that, in the next page probably. So here we go. In order to receive $1,000 a year for the next 3 years, we have to put $2,486.90 in the bank. That's the present value of a $1,000 annuity for 3 years. We have a choice. We can collect $1,000 a year for the next 3 years, or we can take 2,486.90 right now, and they are equal. They are equal in buying power, the present value. Okay, so we know they're telling us that $1,000 a year for the next 3 years is worth $2,486.90 today. Someone might come up to you, Dominic. Somebody might come up to you and say, "Hey, Dominic, I'll take that investment off your hands for $2,500. Would you do it?" You might, because it's more than the $2,486. If he's going to pay you more than the present value, you'd probably take it. If they offered you $2,800, you would take it. If they lowballed you with 24, you'd say, no, thanks. You got to do a little better than that. Okay. So we're going to go to the annuity table, I hope. The annuity table and they don't have that here. They don't have that. Does anybody have their book in front of them? You can see the table. I don't know why they don't show the table here for the annuity, unless I missed it. That's the present value for a single number. Okay. Okay, let's look at this here. We don't have the table in front of us, but they went to the table. They went to the table, 10% 3 years, and look what the conversion was. $1 today, $1 in the future is worth, let me start again, sorry, $1,000 a year for the next 3 years. That $3,000 annuity is equal to getting $2,486.90 today. Where did they get that number? They went to the table, the annuity table, and they went to 10%, 3 years, and the conversion there is 2.4869. Okay? 2.4869. Pretty confusing so far, Soda, or you think you're getting a little understanding?
Just a quick question. You
Sure,
mentioned
sure.
the present value table. I've read the chapter. I don't
Yep.
think I've seen that table anywhere
It should be
in the
Appendix
book.
E, Appendix A. Let me grab my book real quick. Hold on, guys.
Oh, okay. This is on the
Let's see if I can find the darn thing, huh? You know, sometimes, Suda, I find it in Appendix E. You know what
Okay.
they say,
I
Suda,
can take
right? You have to get your appendix out once in a while, right? Sometimes we have to get our appendix out. That's what we're doing here. Okay. Suda, at least she pretends to chuckle at my bad jokes, right? Okay. Did you find it, Suda?
Appendix C just have the Express ink and yes. I mean, I can take a look at it later because
Or
I
check
don't want
Appendix
to.
A then. Okay. Of course, I might have an earlier edition. But you go to that table and you would find that $1 in the future under these conditions is worth $2.40 or $3. The $3,000 in the future is worth $2,486.90. So get comfortable reading the tables. Okay. Now, this is now. Remember, I said I would start us off with this problem. This is the exact problem that first student was confused on, except she was using $50,000 to be paid in the future. Okay, so let's see if we can follow along here. Starbucks bought some equipment, huh? And the deal is they signed a 2-year note, and the poor lady was confused, and You can understand that by the word note. It's really a lease, but it's the same thing. They signed a 2-year note agreeing to pay $200,000 in 2 years. Okay? They borrowed the money at the beginning of 18, and they're going to pay it back at the end of 19. So that's 18, 19, 2 years. And the market interest rate for this note is 12%. So we can't debit delivery trucks now for 200,000 because that's not the present value. We have to debit delivery trucks now for the present value of $200,000 for 2 years at 12%. So if you see your table there, you will see that $1 in the future is worth 79 cents today. $1 in the future has a present value of 79 cents here. So we multiply that out, and that's the present value, 159,440. Okay? So what's our journal entry? We are going to debit delivery trucks and credit notes payable. Hey, Dominic, why don't you tell me what you're thinking so far here? You all right?
Yeah, what do you mean, like thinking in regards to what?
Do you understand how we got this number, the 159,440? This is the tricky. Okay, I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
Well, I'm trying to look back at the PowerPoint from before on the left. That was the 200,000 minus that one. Yeah.
The 200,000 is only worth 159,440. That's called the present value. Present value. If I walked up to you today and I handed you $100 bill, what would be the present value of that $100 bill? $100 today, present value.
So the truck, but wouldn't the truck depreciate? So wouldn't it be worth less?
That's a separate issue. Issue. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good question. You're the first person to ask that question, but it's a darn good one. Yes, we would be depreciating this thing, but that has nothing to do with paying the note. Okay. But you understand, we take the future value, we multiply it by the present value conversion number. So there we go. At the beginning of this note period, we owe Starbucks, or Starbucks owes to the provider, 159,440. If Starbucks called us up today and they had the right to say, hey, we want our $200,000 now, that's part of our deal. Well, we would write them a check for 159,440 and both parties would be satisfied. Now, if you have a calculator there, I need somebody with a calculator, take 159,440 and our interest rate was 12%. 159,440 times 12%, that's going to give us the interest expense for the next year. 159,440 times 12% equals 19,133. So since you're still not muted, Dominic, I'm going to pester you a little more. Ready? Now we're ready to record the interest expense. So what expense do we get a debit in this journal entry?
The 19,133.
Yeah, debit interest expense 19,133. And what do you think we're going to credit? I'll give you a hint. It's part of the first. What's that?
I was going to say interest payable. Is that
notes payable? Don't say interest payable. Notes payable. Notes payable, because we have to get this note up to 200,000 at the end of the deal. How about that, huh? So now we have 159,440, and now a year has gone by. We layered 19,133 on top of that note. So that note now, at the end of 1 year, has a balance of 178,473. If the provider, the seller, called us up after 1 year and said, hey, I want my $200,000 now, we would pay them that amount, okay? So and this is the exact problem that student was asking for before, but she was confused by getting the note money in hand first, okay? So we're gonna go to the next year. The next year, take a look. We started off with a note payable of 159,440, which was the present value of 200,000, 2 years at 12%. After 1 year, we layered on 19133. So we add those up and we get 178,473 times 12% equals a debit. In the second year, the interest expense has gotten higher because the present value is rising. The present value is rising. So in the second year, at the end of the note, we debit interest expense, credit notes payable, and now on that same day, the notes expired, we pay the 200,000 back. Can I ask somebody to pick up a calculator and do this math with me? Are you ready? Are you ready? We started off with this note having a balance of, what was it, 159,440. 159,440 plus the first year's interest of 19133 plus the second year's interest of 21429. Tell me what number you got, Suda.
200,002.
What'd you get, Dominic?
Oh, I wasn't able to enter it as fast.
Yeah, that's okay. We're pushing Dominic around today, huh, Suda? Dominic, yeah, here we go. 159,440 plus 19133 plus 21429. And that will give you, like Suda said, $200,002, which is, so it's a little tricky. I mean, this is brand new. You never even heard of present value really before, had you, Dominic?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much new to you and Suda. But I hope you walk away this morning understanding the concept real well, that the present value is worth what a future amount is today, okay? Now I think we have one more fun example to go through. Ooh, look at this. Oh my goodness. Present values where you have a transaction with both and an annuity and a single payment. I'm going to give you a secret here. Don't tell anybody, okay? Okay, you promise not to tell. This is a bond. You're getting your first look at a Chapter 10 bond, really. So let's take a look at this. Starbucks bought some roasting equipment and they agree to pay $1,000 a month for the next 20 months. What do we call that? What's the word we just learned for a payment of equal amounts over the same interest rate?
Annuity.
Annuity. That's called an annuity. So you have to go
Okay,
to
and
your,
sorry to interrupt. I found the table now is in Appendix E.
okay. The only problem is when we do this problem, this particular interest rate is not in your book, believe it or not. So we can go back up.
Sorry,
Because I don't think it has 1% in your book, does it?
I don't know.
No, it doesn't. And this problem is 1%. So I don't know what person put this up here with the 1%. But anyway,
Well,
just follow
actually,
along.
for annuity of $1, there is a 1%.
Oh, okay. All right. Then maybe it's there now. It wasn't in prior editions of the book. Okay. So
Yeah.
let's take a look here. Starbucks bought equipment and they have to pay $1,000 a month for 20 months. And then at the end of 20 years or 20 months, they have to pay another 40,000. So we need to get the present value of this annuity. In other words, how much money do we have to have in the bank now if we want to pay $1,000 a month for 20 months? And how much money do we also have to have in the bank if we want $40,000 at the end of 20 months? So we are going to compute the annuity first. We are going to compute the annuity first. If you do have a 1% column there, Suda, could you verify that 1% over 20 months, it converts to 18.0455 in the annuity table?
Oh, okay. Present
1%,
value
20
of
periods.
20 period 18.045. Yes.
Thank God, huh? You see it there now, Dominic? You see it there, everybody? That's
Mhm.
what we need. That's what we need when we multiply it by $1,000. Remember that 180455 means $1. We multiply that by 1,000. The present value is 18,046. We need to have 18,046 in the bank now if we want to pay out $1,000 a month or $20,000 over 20 months. Okay. Let's do the present value with a single payment. Now, Suda, go to the other table, the present value of a single number. Again, 1%, 20 months. Could you tell me the conversion in your book, Suda, please?
Yeah, 0.81954.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So $1 today under these circumstances is 81, almost 82 cents. So the present value with this bond, I'm calling it a bond, it's really not, but it's like a bond, same thing. The present value of this entire investment is the 18,046 plus the 32,782. Make some sense, Suda?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah, we're getting into two kind of tough chapters here. There's no question, but let's hope that in the next day or two, you guys are comfortable understanding what the present value concept is all about and how to use those tables. If you use one mistake a lot of people make, and people like me too, believe it or not, you go too fast and you don't even realize you're looking at the wrong table. And you get some crazy answer. As soon as you get a crazy answer, you probably used the wrong table, okay? So let's understand the present value tables and how to use them. And that's the end of our chapter. Suda, what do you have to say here? Anything you'd like me to show you again or question? Are you overwhelmed right now?
A little bit, yes.
Now we get together again when? Thursday? This is this is a once a week class? No, we're twice a week, right?
Yeah, Friday is the next one.
Okay. By Friday, we're going to be in chapter 10. So let's understand the present value world. Okay. The question, and getting back to the beginning when Kyle was asking about the difference between the note and when we use the present value, this was that example here. Okay. The difference is a note, there's no present value to worry about because you're getting the money up front. Don't confuse that with a deal where it's a note, but you're paying it on the back end like a zero coupon note. Okay. Dominic, you got anything for us?
I don't think so.
Pretty good so far?
Yeah.
Let me just do one other thing here. How come I don't have a chat button? I don't have a chat button. Is that possible? Oh, well, nobody wants to chat with me, huh? Okay, I guess we can call it a session then.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank you,
Sue.
Bob.
All right, you take care, Dominic. You take care, Luciana. Hope you learned something today. We'll talk to you all later. Thanks so much.
Okay, bye. Have a good day. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.